To build the life of your dreams, would you be willing to blow up your old one? Leave everything behind, your friends, family, career, your country even, to start over completely from scratch? That's exactly what Sara Burdick did when she left America to settle down and live here in the charming countryside town of Jericó, Colombia.
And in this video, you'll see how Sara walked away from her old life to live on a coffee farm she bought for just $50,000.
There's actually a woman down there picking coffee. See that bag? It's coffee. So she's picking all this coffee and then she leaves it and then she brings it up the hill. Up near the road, there's a spring and we get our water directly from the spring.
Wow, this is straight jungle.
And this is the jungle. This is my favorite. I love this part. The property goes to that big trees down there. So this is all coffee and plantains. For me, living here reminds me of how I grew up. I have the means to have everything that I need here. I think I remember how to live with less.
Meet Sara Burdick. She's a creator sharing what life is like as a foreigner living in Colombia. Sara also happens to be an old friend. We met way back in 2018 here in Colombia as fellow guests staying at a hostel in the coastal city of Santa Marta. Nowadays, she calls this Colombian heritage town of 12,000 people her home.
This is probably one of the most beautiful towns I've been here in Colombia.
But it's your first time though.
Yeah.
But it's a heritage town.
Yeah.
So it has like a lot of cultural things. There's 4 cultural museums here. There's 18 churches, 17 or 18 churches. So it's the capital of like the religious area in Antioquia. And Mother Laura, Saint Laura, is the first saint in Colombia. She is from here.
But how did she get here? Well, to understand that, we have to go back to the roots of her journey in America's bluegrass state.
I grew up in Kentucky.
Yeah.
In the holler. So holler's like a dip in the hill. For people who don't know, it's like in the hills of Kentucky, there's the Appalachian Mountains, and in between the Appalachian Mountains, there's like a little dip. I was born at home. All my siblings were born at home, except for my brother was born in a hospital. So I grew up on a big old farm, off-grid, and we lived far from town. We were like hippies. My parents were like hippies.
But during her childhood, Sara's whole world would turn upside down. Between the ages of 9 and 13, both her parents went on to pass away, unexpectedly leaving Sara and her 3 younger siblings orphaned. They had no other choice but to start over from scratch and move to Erie, Pennsylvania to live with their grandmother.
My grandma was sweet, nice, but I was ready to leave. So when I turned 18, I went to college, and then I never looked back.
Hey everybody, taking a quick break from telling Sara's story to tell you a little bit about the very first sponsor here on World of Nuance, Unbound Merino. They make clothes like this black crew neck t-shirt that I can wear pretty much in any situation, whether I'm going out with friends at night while I'm on the road, or if I am filming a video like this in rural Colombia. Now, Unbound Merino makes all of their clothing from ethically sourced merino wool, which is the perfect material to wear if you are a frequent traveler like me, for 3 particular reasons. 1, it doesn't smell. 2, it's moisture wicking, which means it dries super fast. And 3, it doesn't wrinkle. As a World of Nuance viewer, you can get 10% off your very first order. All you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen or visit the link down in the description below and use the promo code 110 at checkout. Thanks so much to Unbound Merino for supporting World of Nuance and sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to Sara's story.
Vamos.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna get on like a...
Do you want to go to the... We're going to get on a...
moto taxi?
A moto car. Hola. ¿Está disponible? Sí. Bueno. So I only live like... It's only like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. But it'll save
15 minutes by this moto taxi.
Maybe in this moto taxi, yeah, maybe 15 minutes, maybe less.
Okay.
It's like 3 kilometers. Not far, but just in this with the roads, it's crazy.
How long would it take you to walk if you were gonna go in?
45 minutes.
45?
It's not very far. The only problem, I have walked halfway, but normally people
They see you walking and they're like,
Yeah.
we should help her.
Yeah, we should help her. She needs help.
Sara went on to college and majored in criminal justice, originally with the goal of becoming an agent for the FBI. But after a chance meeting with a woman from the bureau who spoke at one of her classes, she decided to make a slight change to her path.
So there was a woman who came to speak at our college, Candace DeLong, I still remember, and she was a nurse who worked for the FBI. And I stayed after, talked to her, and I said, what can I do? I want to do sort of what you are doing. And she said, go to nursing school. But I didn't want to be a nurse per se. Like, I never worked in a hospital until I graduated from college. I was never like a nursing assistant. Like, I never had like that desire to be like a nurse. I was like, it'll pay the bills. And then I saw I could get a job. I would never get laid off. I never had to worry about having a career if I was a nurse. I could always be a nurse.
In 2003, Sara began her career as a nurse, but there were signs early on that it wasn't a path she'd be following forever.
I hated nursing school, every minute of it. I barely passed. I passed my boards first time around, and then I got a real job. And I still hated it. So I became a prison nurse because I thought if I want to go into the FBI, I was living in Boston. So I started working at Walpole Prison, and I showed up to work one day and we were in lockdown, and they're like, oh, so-and-so's got a machete, he's trying to kill everybody in the ward, and you had to have a nurse on duty. So they're like, nurse, you're the nurse on duty. So I had to go into the cell and ask this guy if he needed medical assistance. And they all say no, but you have to go right up to the inmates and be in their face as these guys are pepper spraying with like their big old combat things, and I'm just like this. And that was my last day I ever worked there.
Sara's dream of working in law enforcement ended right then and there, but she still had bills to pay. Luckily, she was still a licensed nurse, which meant there were plenty of other opportunities in her field.
I thought maybe I'll like travel nursing, and I actually did like travel nursing because I could just kind of go to hospital, so 3 months at a time, 6 months at a time. And then I found a hospital I like to work at, so I stayed at Cedars-Sinai Hospital for 8 years, I think.
So the weather is kind of like this here pretty much all the year round.
Yeah, except for rain season. In rain season, it rains at night, and then like in the mornings. Like when I was talking to you, I said it's cloudy in the morning, but rain season stopped in December, so now it's beautiful the whole time.
Yeah.
For nearly a decade, Sara became accustomed to a certain kind of lifestyle in Los Angeles. One that revolved around two core things: making money and mindless consumption.
As soon as I went to LA, I completely entered the system and didn't come out until 12 years later. I completely forgot everything. Because when you start working as a nurse, you start seeing, oh my God, I'm making so much money. And coming from someone who grew up like, you can't afford to buy new shoes, to like, oh, I can buy whatever I want. I got sucked into the system. I was working 2 jobs plus overtime. So I basically worked, I don't even know how many hours. I worked 24/7. I was completely sucked in, going to the parties, the bars, the nice restaurants, like completely, totally different than what I am now. Yeah.
But beneath it all, Sara couldn't shake the feeling that something in her life had to change.
I just kept like looking in the mirror and be like, I'm just not happy. Like, and then I just was like, I'm not happy doing this. And I kept doing the same thing over and over, and I was like, nothing's changing. I would try to change and nothing would change. And I was like, I need to stop doing it. And the one way, my answer was to stop doing everything and just leave.
Gracias. Hey, hola.
Muchísimas gracias. Okay, don't judge my dogs because he likes to run in the forest.
Oh, that's
So he is
normal.
like always a disaster.
Hi, man.
Hello,
Nice to meet you.
I'm John.
I am Rafa.
This is what? His Baki?
Baki.
Baki, and this is
Aries.
Aries?
Aries.
Oh, like Aries, god of war.
With
No,
the other one with the E.
The Discord.
Eh,
Hey, stop.
Aries.
Venga. And Baki is named, I don't know, after, what is your brother? We adopted from his brother.
It's for anime.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Anime.
What anime is it? Do you remember?
Japanese
It's
or
called,
something.
sí, I think it's
Hola,
called Baki
¿cómo
something.
estás?
Okay.
Hola.
I don't remember the name. But
He's about a year old, I think.
Yeah.
But we adopted him basically because he's a husky in Colombia, and he's a husky Malamute mix, and everyone comments, oh, he's too hot for him there, but we adopted him from his brother, and I'm like, yeah, I know it's too hot here, but he's such a good dog, so we kept him. So see over there's a hill. He goes all the way down up the hill.
Oh, wow.
So we're building, and he likes to kill chickens, so we have to, yeah, you're naughty.
These are just wild chickens or the neighbor's chickens?
He killed a neighbor chicken at their house. So and here they will kill the dog. So we have to, yeah. So anyways, welcome to, welcome.
To have the life she lives today, Sara needed to blow up her old one. And in the final few years of her quote-unquote normal life, that's exactly what she did.
I already knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to travel. And I wanted to go back to like my roots. I just set a goal, picked a date to quit my job, bought a plane ticket. But it was took me I'll probably say 5 years, yeah.
She stopped partying and shrunk her social circle. She also worked with a coach who taught her how to start paying closer attention to her intuition.
And then I started asking my patients questions about their lives. I started asking them, if there was one thing you could do differently in your life, one thing you could change, what would you do? And I just sit with listen to them talk for hours. And they would say, what do you want to do? Figure it out and do it. Don't, let money control your life. Don't let things control your life.
Was there any one patient in particular whose experience stood out to you?
I had this one guy, he couldn't sleep, so I just started talking to him. And he was in his 60s, 70s maybe. He was telling me about how he taught English in Japan for years. And he's like, yeah, you can teach English. He gave me all these things, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should just do it, right? He's like, yeah, just do it. And I also took care of this one guy. He lived in the middle of India. He had this horrible pancreatic cancer. And he was telling me how he lived in the jungle. He moved there when he was in his early 30s, and he lived there for 20 years. And he loved it, the best time of his life. And I was like, okay. And he's like, just do it. Just do it. He's like, I'm dying. He's like, and one thing I can tell you is that you should just do it. If that's what you want to do, you have to do it. Everyone I met reassured me.
In 2018, Sara finally took the leap. She bought a one-way ticket to Colombia and began a multi-year journey all over the world.
From Colombia, I went to Ecuador, Peru, Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, and then I went back to Argentina. Then I went to Asia. So I went to Japan, Cambodia, Thailand, and then back to the U.S.
Why don't you go back to the U.S. just for a
to
break?
visit. I visit every 6 months.
Yeah.
I go home every 6 months, yeah. And then I had a friend in Botswana, so I went to Botswana. Then I went to South Africa. And then it was 2020. And I thought, if something happens, do I want to be stuck in South Africa? And I absolutely did not want to be stuck in South Africa. It was not my favorite country, and I did not want to be there for an undetermined amount of time. So then I thought Colombia or Argentina. So I went to Argentina because the plane ticket was cheaper. So I spent a year in Argentina. And after Argentina, then I went back home to visit my family again, and then I came here.
Taking a quick break here to tell you about another place where you can get more content from me. That is the World of Nuance newsletter. You'll get bonus content, bonus stories of stuff that I can't fit into a video format. To sign up, all you have to do is scan the QR code right here on the screen or visit the link down in the description below. So make sure to subscribe to the World of Nuance newsletter at www.worldofnuance.com.
The house is a fixer-upper. We bought it, and the guy, I don't think, did anything on it for the whole time he lived here.
Yeah.
But I wanted a fixer-upper because,
Yeah, you can basically inject your own value into it.
Exactly, yeah. This is office / we watch TV here. We have a little TV. Rafa works online. He's a Spanish teacher. So this is his office, and this is I sit here.
Wow.
This is just like our bedroom. And like I said, it was clean yesterday, and then we had all that work going on.
Did you change the tile already?
No.
Oh,
we've done
okay.
Nothing. And then bathroom, kitchen. So it's a very small house.
Along with her partner Rafa and her mother-in-law Olga, Sara officially moved into her countryside home in August of 2024. The property sits on the edge of a hill of a cloud forest and spans just about 1.5 acres.
So the property goes from, there's a river down there, and goes all the way to that dead tree there, and then all the way up to that big tree over there.
It's very peaceful here. Seems very calm.
Very peaceful.
You're away from all the noise.
At night is like no noise. And look, we're only 10, 15 minutes from the city.
No parties or anything like that from the neighbors?
So sometimes those people play music, and on Fridays our neighbors play music, but nothing crazy. Honestly, no.
Yeah.
That was my biggest worry. And dogs barking, because you know Colombia dogs bark. But
Yeah, just in general, like being in Latin America, you have to get used to noise.
this is the quietest town I've ever been to.
Tell me the story of how you ended up here.
So since I met Rafa, when we met, I was looking for a place to live in Colombia, like to buy. So I was going all over looking, and he was here, living here, and I had been here before. He's like, oh, I'm in Jericó, you should, come here. And I was like, oh, I love Jericó anyway. So we got back together, I came here. He had a Spanish school here in Jericó, which he's recently closed because the tourism is not very good. So a guy was teaching, helping him with Spanish, and he lived here. And one day he's like, oh, I'm gonna sell my farm. But at that point, it was a lot more expensive. And then eventually the price came down. And Rafa's like, oh, we should go look, because he was gonna close the school. He's like, we should go look again. I came in here like 3 or 4 times before I decided to buy it. This is so far my coffee harvest. Yeah, this is only from the December harvest.
Wow.
Or sorry, the November harvest. Now we're on December, and there's double.
So is December the most fruitful month for harvesting the coffee?
Yeah, November, December is the most. But after this, after December, we're cutting the trees. We're gonna leave like 40, maybe 40 or 50. Basically, the good trees are in this area right here. So you can see all where the red beans are, where those big plantain trees are.
Oh yeah, I see some of them right there. So those are coffee.
Yeah,
that
these
right
are,
there is a coffee.
and those are bananas and plantains, all the big ones, the big leaves.
Wow.
There's actually a woman down there picking coffee. See that bag? It's coffee. So she's picking all this coffee, and then she leaves it, and then she brings it up the hill.
Oh,
These
okay.
Colombians carry this coffee up these hills. Yeah. I cannot do that.
She does this every day?
Until it's done, yeah. Because
Okay.
we're working with one of the neighbors, actually, and he's picking the coffee, so his responsibility is to pick the coffee for us, and then I'm processing it. Okay, I'll show you the coffee process.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see she's picking it, and then we weigh it, and once it gets weighed, I put it here. I put the coffee in water. So this has been sitting in water overnight.
Are you like fermenting it?
No, just leaving it overnight.
Okay.
And then basically, so I have to put a little bit more. But you can ferment it. Some people ferment it like longer, but I'm not doing anything special. If I was a coffee professional, I would learn the anaerobic process, but I don't know it. So you see the coffee that's floating?
Mm-hmm.
This is like the bad coffee. So once I dump it in here, first I do the bad coffee.
Okay.
And the good coffee has sank to the ground. So this is called depulp, despulpar. And
Those are just the
this is the
beans without the skin.
the beans without the skin, but it's the bad beans. So
Okay.
you can see it's kind of brown and yucky and green. So this is my sort of dryer. So you always dry it in the sun so I can move. I did all this yesterday, so this took me like hours to do. And then this will dry in like 5 days, and then we'll bag it up
Okay.
and we'll sell it. But this is the bad. So this is just the bad coffee.
All of this is the bad coffee.
Yeah, this is the bad coffee. It gets sold for like tinto or like
Oh,
lower
okay.
quality coffee.
Yeah.
basically.
This isn't the stuff that gets exported.
No, this does not get exported. So Colombia actually exports most of the good coffee. So this will stay in Colombia and be sold.
But it's still pretty.
It's still good
still
coffee.
good.
It's still good coffee, but it's not the good beans.
It's not like the best of the best.
Exactly. So this
This is not the beans that'll be
exported. No.
that'll be your $10 grande
No.
latte from Starbucks.
No.
So what did you learn growing up about living off the land, and you were already exposed to like kind of this similar kind of lifestyle that you're living now here?
Yes. But I was actually more rural when I grew up.
Uh-huh.
So I think growing up like that, I didn't appreciate it. You never appreciate anything when you're young. And now looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, it was so peaceful. It was just a more like down to earth way of living. And funny, now I've come like, I ran to the city and now I'm running back to the country. So yeah, basically I've done a 180 or 360. You never thought so much went into your cup of coffee. Okay, so this is the coffee that we've already dried. So this is the Pasilla, the bad coffee.
It does look more like what you would think of as a coffee bean because it's dry.
Yeah. This is the good coffee.
This is good. Oh wow.
Yeah. So this is what you imagine a coffee.
They look like peanuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is all good coffee. We'll sell this in town. So the good coffee will sell for more than the bad coffee. And this is what I sit and do at night. So this is like my bag of our personal coffee. So I sit and you can take off the hole. This is like the outside. And this is called the green. This is the green bean.
Okay.
And this is what so I basically do it with my hands when I'm working, when I'm just sitting watching TV. And then I roast this on the stove.
Oh, okay. So this is what she'll make the coffee.
We drink this here.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm gonna make you a cup.
so we can make a cup of this coffee right now.
Yeah, well, already roasted.
Yeah. How do you roast them? Do you just throw them on the oven or something? Oh, just on like your pan.
I roast it in here.
Okay, so that's how
Yeah.
you roast it. Do you put oil on the pan or anything?
Nothing, dry. And it takes about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then it turns into...
Oh, okay. See, that's what I
Yep.
see. This looks like a more traditional, what I think of as a coffee bean.
Yeah, and you can smell it too.
Yeah, I can smell it from
You can
here
smell it from
actually.
there, yeah.
And then you grind it.
You grind it. From farm to table.
No pests. You know exactly where the coffee came from. Versus
Yes.
most of the coffee that we drink in the U.S., we have no idea where it's been in the supply chain.
Exactly.
Ah, it smells very good.
Okay, I don't.
This is the first time I've ever just drank coffee straight from somebody's farm. I mean, I've been to coffee plantations before, like in Hawaii and everything,
You
but
did coffee taste?
yeah, I did coffee tasting
Yeah.
out there, but I mean, even there's, it's like a sophisticated process. This is just everything by hand, This is amazing.
Including me shucking the beans.
Sarah's land may be set up for farming coffee, but harvesting more beans isn't actually part of her long-term plan.
I don't want to be in the coffee business, and I just want to have enough for us to last for the year and give to my friends. When we go down, you'll see these trees are all bad. They're dying, so they're not healthy. So at the end of every harvest, they cut the trees anyways and replant. Yeah, I want to get some goats and chickens.
Okay.
So my plan is to make it more of like a farm,
Yeah.
and then have like everything we need at like a size that we can use it. Hey, buddy. Hey, you gonna come with us? And now you'll understand why he's a disaster.
Who, your dog?
Yeah. Cause he's gonna come with us.
We're gonna head down now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Venga. Baki, venga. Come on, venga.
You go too.
Come on, Aries, venga. Muy bien. Come on.
So did the previous owner also construct this railing here for this staircase? Or
No, we did.
Oh, you did?
But we did it with him. He helped us.
Wow.
But so basically he still lives in town, so he's young. So he comes and helps us. But we pay him for his work, but yeah. So this is also the part of the property. It's the guadua that we use to construct things.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's ready, it's ready when it's like kind of getting yellow, like you see the yellowish toned ones. But they grow really fast. They'll grow within like a year and a half. Like these are all new from like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And even these are new. Yeah, this is just a compost. These are my beans. Oh, they're growing finally.
What kind of beans are these?
They're just pole beans.
You planted these?
No, they came from the compost.
Oh.
I planted those over there.
Oh, okay.
No, these just grows from the compost, which I put all the coffee skins in here also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you guys gonna hang out here? Oh, I'll show you a pretty part of the farm. So this is like a well, one of the wells. So comes from the river.
Get water from here?
Yeah, no, we don't get water. We get water straight from the mountain, but this is like for horses or watering the garden and stuff. An extra backup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't want to drink that.
Wow. This is straight jungle.
And this is the jungle. This is my favorite. I love this part. Up near the road, there's a spring, a nacimiento, and we get our water directly from the spring.
Okay.
This is coming from the river, but these hoses all go to someone's house. So we all collect from the same spring, yeah. But this is, my property basically goes to here, to the river. I'm burning a bunch of wood here because I'm cleaning up this area because I want to put my chicken coop here.
Oh, right here. Okay.
Yeah, because then they can, and I want to put the goats maybe so they can climb up this hill.
Uh-huh.
Because it's a nice spot. I don't know. I don't really know yet, to be honest.
You'll figure it out. You'll cross that bridge when you get there.
I built all these for gardens.
Uh-huh.
And then I realized that the guadua is so invasive that nothing's gonna grow.
Oh.
So now I don't know what I'm doing with her.
Are you gonna have to undo all of that, or?
No, I'll keep it for I'll put the chickens here maybe.
Okay.
And they'll eat it.
What is this?
Coffee.
Coffee?
But we're gonna cut the tree anyway. And I already picked it the other day. This is where Olga lives.
Okay.
It's like a mini apartment down here. There's like a bathroom. We're gonna fix this up nicer for her. So she has like a bathroom in her bedroom and like some little plants for her growing.
Oh, okay.
This is like where we put a bunch. We're gonna put little bedrooms here too.
Oh, okay.
Cause I want to have volunteers come.
Yeah. You could basically set up your own workaway
That's
here.
what I want to do. I want to have volunteers come, yeah, and like provide, just have them help on the farm. Because there's not a lot of tourism here, like he was saying. It's Colombian, so it's a nice place for if you want to come and like live like a local. It's a nice place.
I mean, you've done so much volunteer work and workaways that you know the mentality of a person who is looking for those kinds of experiences.
Exactly. And we have Starlink, so we can even do digital nomads.
Yeah.
Work in the morning and then they have the afternoon off. Yeah. Anyways, there's a huge hole and this space is flat, so I want to put a little cabin down here.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to use this area for anything.
Yeah.
And it's quiet.
But you'll be clearing out a lot of this vegetation.
All this right here, I'm clearing everything except for the native trees. There are some trees that are not coffee. I'm going to keep those.
Okay.
Like coffee, the trees that are native, because coffee is not native to Colombia.
Yeah.
It's from Ethiopia. I want to create diversity, more diversity. This is like, I don't want a monoculture.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a monocrop, basically.
Right.
This is the easy way up.
This is the easy way?
Yeah.
This is the easy way up. This is me struggling. I have like the staff of Moses with me and I'm like, I can't part the Red Sea with this.
You only have to part the jungle, don't worry.
I just don't know where to put my feet. That's the thing.
Okay. Put your foot here. When you get to there, you can put it here.
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 Oh my God.
And then when you get up here, you can pull onto this to go up. You can
Okay.
You can grab the trees too. We don't have poison ivy or poison oak or anything,
Yeah.
so you won't touch anything. We have snakes, but the dog's running
Okay.
through. No, the dog's running through here. That's why I like the dog. He'll
Yeah.
scare everything away.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going ahead of you, so you're fine.
No, it's okay. I know what I signed up for when I decided to tell your story.
Okay.
What's been the most rewarding part of this process of moving here and building this home?
I think just being settled. I think because I was looking to be settled for a long time. So I think for me, the rewarding is like having a home, which sounds completely non-related to this farm, but I think it's just having somewhere to call home and like having like my little family. So I think that's been the number one thing.
What's been the most challenging part of this whole experience?
Oh Lord. The most challenging on my physical body, learning to walk up and down these hills.
Oh, I know what that's like. You know?
My body. The most mentally challenging is then learning to adapt and live in a culture that's not mine, but yet figuring out how to fit in with what's around me. Yeah, but luckily I have Rafa and Olga, so they help me.
Did you know how to do all of this stuff beforehand, or have you just been teaching yourself?
No, I worked in how do you call that? In a
Construction?
wood,
Wood.
wood, like a
Oh, like a
carpentry.
carpenter.
Exactly. I worked in that for a few years, and in that work I learned how to use the tools,
Okay.
how to use the machines and everything like that. And the other is just you figure out figure out in the way. If you see that it doesn't work, do again, and that's that.
And how do you think you've changed since when I met you? In the past 6 years, how do you think travel has changed you? Where in your personality are you different? What values also are different for you?
I think before I didn't care about anything, and now I care about like more family things. I don't care about anything monetary. I used to care more about money, and now I don't care at all. And I don't care about superficial things. Yeah, not at all. And I'm way more chill. Like, way more chill.
Yeah.
Than I used to be. Yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody who is considering not just moving to Colombia, but moving abroad and doing what you did?
If you want to travel, you should save as much money as you can to travel, but you should do it. Even if you don't have money, you should still do it because you can always go back to your old life. Like, I think that's one thing I didn't realize is that the worst case scenario is I'd go back to the same life I had before, which wasn't that bad. So I think you should take the leap and do it. Don't be afraid of the what ifs. I was so afraid of like, what if this, what if that? Maybe they happen, maybe they don't happen.
Right.
But what if you never do what you want to do? Then you're at your end of life and the nurse is asking you, what do you regret? That's what you regret. Like, that was my like worst fear, was to be like, I regret never quitting my job and traveling the world, if even for 1 year. Even if you think it's impossible, I think you should, not should, but I think, see what you want with your life and go for it. Because if you really want to do something, it's never gonna get out of your head until you try. It's probably not gonna look like what you think. It's probably gonna be really messy, really just like dirty, but the fun is, trying to get there. You might not ever get there, but you're gonna have fun along the way. You'll see something new and a new challenge, and anything is possible, like anything.
Hey everybody, John Santiago here from World of Nuance. Thank you again for watching this video. A reminder, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to World of Nuance right here on YouTube to get more content just like this. Also, on a related note, check out Sara's YouTube channel. I've got a link down in the description below, and subscribe to her newsletter as well. I've got a QR code right here on the screen. Just scan that with your phone and sign up to her newsletter to hear more about her adventures from right here in Colombia. Now, if you love this video, you're probably going to love this series that I filmed about a woman who's lived in 3 very unique places in the San Francisco Bay Area, including a decommissioned World War II ship. Check those videos out right over here.